guitar buddies, the legendary Jerry Lee Lewis has passed away, so I thought in tribute we'd do one of his classic rock and roll songs, Great Balls of Fire. Okay, so in the original track, there's no guitar, it's just piano, bass and drums. But for the guitar, I was playing basically what I would play if I was jamming this in a rock and roll band. All right, so I'm starting with G, A, B, C, okay? Which I could play 3, 5, 2, 3, or the E and A strings, or 3 open, 2, 3, whatever works for you. And I'll put a little palm muting on that. And then just moving it up to hit the F. So we're going up the C scale, from G to C, and continuing up from C to F, C, D, E, F. Okay, then going chromatically to the G, E, F, F sharp, G. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then F, G to F. So that's 5 to 3. And I've seen a lot of bands play that bit as put a chromatic note back in between, which also works. So both work with the song, so whatever you want. Okay, and then back to the first one. All right, and then the chords, very straightforward, classic rock and roll. We've just got 3 chords, root 4th and 5th, C, F and G. So to make them a lot more rock and roll, the C I was playing as a C7. The F and F9. So that's 8, 7, 8, 8, 8. Then to a G9. Just move that up 2 frets. F9. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. And the bridge section, go back to the F9. Nice little thing is add a little 13th if you want. Or just add your little finger on 10. And again, I added the 13th there. It's purely optional. Adding my little finger to the C. Okay. To get an A there. On 10 on the B string. Then back to the F. Stop on that G9. Yeah. So that's your chords. And then obviously it's a classic piano solo on the track. So I just improvised around the piano solo just with the C blues scale and a few additional notes. So I'm basically playing the classic kind of rock and roll sort of, you know, so very Chuck Berry like. Double stops and 8 and 8, 10 and 10 on G and B. That little hammer that you often get from the E flat to the E, minor third to major third. So 8, 8, put your second finger on 9 on the G string, down to 10 on the D string. So you get a lot of that. Or that. And then another nice sort of rockabilly thing is to take the A, the E flat, so you've got the 3rd and the 7th, the dominant 7th of the F7 chord there, kind of bend it. And again, just use the blues scale. Okay, so the blues scale, if you're not familiar with it, you probably are, but just to recap, it's C, E flat, F, G, B flat, C, E flat, F, G, B flat, C, E flat, go up to F. So 8, 11, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 11, 8, 11, 13. Okay, so if you use that blues scale, plus those little chord tones like the A there, for example, and that little hammer to the E, and all that classic rock and roll to bend that F, and then play these two. All that stuff is going to work great if you want to jam out a solo. Okay, great stuff, great fun, and we'll take a look next at the bass part. Starting the bass with G, A, B, C, going up the C major scale, open G, 2, 4, 5, then C, D, E, F, 3 on A, open D, 2, 3, and then do a little slide to an E on 2, F, F sharp, G, so just going chromatically up to a G, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and then G to F, 5, 5, 5, 3, and that little section I've often seen bands play it as, which also works. It's kind of basically missing out the E, just doing 2 on the F, and then going chromatically back down. But if you listen to the original recording, it sounds, I think that's what you get. But both work, so whatever you choose to do for your kind of band arrangement, it's going to work fine. All right, and then you're back to G, A, B, C. Open 2, 4, 5. Okay, and then you're into the kind of classic rock and roll riff that like, everyone should know. So on the C major chord, we've got... So this kind of... You're taking the chord tones of a major chord and the major 6, a really popular thing to do in rock and roll. Okay, so we've got C, E, G, A, G. So 2 notes on each, then 1 note each for the last 2 notes, A to G. So you've got 8, 8 on E, 7, 7, 10, 10, and 7, 10. And again, a lot of bands will just play that all the way through. And that works totally fine, but if you listen to the track again, it doesn't always play the same thing. It's not like modern tracks where you often just play a riff once and loop it. You know, there's a bit of variation in here, which you can choose or not to put in. So, for example, I was playing, but the second time I was going up instead of going down, going up to the C on 10. And then, and this one, for the F, I'm just moving the same riff, but starting now on the A string. And then, the second time, instead of coming down, playing that note twice. Again, if you play, whichever one you play, it's got to fit. Alright, and then, just moving that up to the G riff. So starting it now on 10, but it's the same riff. So 10, 9, 12, 9, 12. Back to the F. Stop on the C. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Then you get into the bridge. The F riff twice, then the C riff. So you can either do it or go up. So you're back to the F. And stop on a G. Bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. So that's all a G note there. And then you're basically back into a repeat. And then you've got same pattern of C, F, and then a G to F on the guitar, the piano solo, sorry. But you notice on the piano solo, again, it's the same riff, but there's slight variations. So you kind of get... So you get the same, and then... So for the F, instead of going... You get... So instead of starting on the root note, it starts on the 5th, you know. The same 3 notes of F, C, A and F, but just kind of changing the order. Again, if you were to leave that out and just continue playing, it would absolutely work, because that's a great thing about kind of rock and roll. You could just jamming it and playing, you know, these riffs that we've learned time and time again. So that's basically it riff-wise. It's just that riff or variations of that riff. All right, and we just end on a C to finish. Okay, so great song, and rest in peace to the legendary Jerry Lee Lewis. Thanks for watching, buddies.